effective, what do we call the program now, the network?
The network, the Aggie Network.
Yeah. To tell you the truth, I was disappointed that they formalized that because it worked perfectly well without it and quietly.
They didn't need to name it. And
Didn't need to name it and promote it. Yeah.
It was there.
But if it's effective, fine, let it work. But I think I found A&M graduates, whether military or otherwise, are prominent wherever you find them after they've had a fair shot at getting where their goals are.
Okay. That's great. What is an Aggie? Define.
Okay. To you, how would you define an Aggie to someone else who doesn't know?
Well, that's very simple. That's a person that went to Texas A&M and graduated. No, it's more than that, of course. But it'd be hard for me to put into a few words. I think an Aggie is someone who's branded to know right from wrong and do right. And I think Aggie's word is still good, and that's not common anymore. I think they're very patriotic. That's just bred in them. In fact, I've not been closely associated with A&M since I left that job assignment on the military staff. But I've tried to keep in touch through our kids and grandkids. And I think A&M today is probably one of the most conservative universities in the country. And that explains to me why A&M has to turn away thousands of applicants. Don't have room for them. I think parents around this country want their kids there.
And it's unfortunate we can't take them all. But
It is. I don't know how in the world you've managed 48,000, to tell you the truth. But how in the world you get all those courses laid out and students decide? We couldn't do it without computers, could we? Yeah.
okay. Did you?
I think it's great. This has just been wonderful.
Appreciate you.
Is there anything that maybe we haven't touched on that you would like to before we turn it off?
I meant to mention one thing. The only controversial and serious problem we had in the Corps when I was cadet colonel was the boycott of the Bryan movie. A Little Widow owned that, and it was a nice movie, fine movie, house, and she got the first run movies. We had a perfectly nice movie house right off at North Gate. They couldn't get first run movies. They'd be 2 months or longer behind the Bryan movie. And so the class before me made an effort to get the authority through the proper business controls to include that for first run movies. It was denied. So we boycotted them. And we boycotted them because then, for example, my first 2 years, you couldn't have an automobile on the campus. It was against the law. The trains were not running like they used to. A lot of people traveled on trains locally there when I first came to A&M. We continued that, and it was very effective. And to wind it up, Mr. E.L. Angel, who was President Walton's right hand assistant, and very close to he was headed up the publications business and so forth, came to me and said, we need to go to Dallas. And we came to Dallas to talk to the guy that had control on this and explained they weren't going to do it and why. And Mr. Angel told me that if we continue, they intend to, he didn't, the businessman didn't say this, but they intend to bring a lawsuit. And so we dropped the thing.
Your boycott of the local theater right there at Northgate?
No, no,
Or the one in Bryan?
the one in Bryan.
Okay.
Yeah, we were
Because
promoting the,
Trying to get some help to the theater that was.
yeah,
on
get
campus at
the
Northgate.
movie down there where we could walk to it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
but that troubled the administration, but they never interfered with us until this. And that wasn't interference, that was guidance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was the most controversial thing that happened.
I think so,
That's pretty good.
yeah. No, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, but this occurred when I was on duty after the war, and that's when the cadets marched to the president's home and threw their insignia rank onto the porch. That was ugly. But it was resolved. We
And what was that march?
well, I should. You're not familiar with that, of course. Along with the Bryan Field separation, to get hazing under control, that was the whole object, was a policy to stamp it out on campus. And they changed some of the rules, and the cadets' leadership didn't like them. And they failed to get it changed, so they resigned their
Positions.
their positions in the Corps. And the leader of that group was from Kaufman, wasn't me. Yeah, leader.
Somebody that
Leader from.
used to live on Houston Street?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
Roy?
no,
Okay.
no, it wasn't. I won't name him.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's all right.
yeah, I won't name him. But it took some straightening out, and I think he's fortunate that I and these three other guys that were fairly recent, it was kind of, the commandant kind of turned it over to us, but we were in danger of losing status as an ROTC establishment. And
This was when you were on staff?
that's when I was
after
on
World War
staff,
II,
yeah,
And you were on the ROTC staff?
yeah.
Okay.
Who was the
But-
president at that time?
Gilchrist, Dr. Gilchrist. And by the way, Dr. Gilchrist, when we went down there for duty from the Pentagon, I did, he said the policy here is going to be in future that we're not going to promote A&M through the Cadet Corps. We're going to promote A&M through academic excellence. And our targets are going to be to improve academic excellence and our reputation in that regard. The Corps has already made itself established.
Interesting.
Well, that policy has continued
Yes.
to this day.
Mhm.
Now, back to this duty on the staff, we were given a couple of pretty important things. We did create the fish drill team, but we rewrote the charter. Take that off the hook and just hold it. They'll quit. We rewrote the charter for the Ross Volunteers. And I think we recent graduates influenced that, and I was on a committee that did it. And the reason we did it, we wanted to orient them more on ceremony, military duty and ceremony, and less on the social aspects of it. When I was there, it was more social than military,
Really?
really.
It's interesting. Well, I'm glad because I was Ross Volunteer.
Were you? Yeah.
First
Well, I
platoon-
think
First platoon leader.
they're much more involved now, officially, in ceremonies
Mhm.
than they were then.
Yeah.
For right now, it's automatic for the governor, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
His, yeah,
Inauguration and everything.
yeah. Well, it was by invitation when I was there.
When I was getting set up, you were mentioning that there's an error in the archives history about the classes that were called to war. Can you
Yes,
correct that?
I can. My class, and there we are, the seniors in formation in that picture, where on graduation we received orders for active duty in the Army and went in all directions, all kinds of outfits. So we were the first class to be ordered to active duty on graduation. We knew we'd be in war shortly, and sure enough, 6 months later, 5 months later, we were. Now, I went to, for the first meeting about this book, Texas A&M Go to War, with Dr. Deathloff and some of their sponsors. He had a copy of that picture, and it was special to him for some reason. And he showed it to me. He said, here's the class of 42. They were the first ones who called active duty. I said, no, they're not. He didn't believe me. I said, that's me. And I thought that corrected it, you know.
The trump card there.
See the guy out front? That's me.
So he thought that picture was the class of 42.
He did.
And he thought that class was the first to
And
be
it-
called in mass to
Right.
war.
And he
It
must have
was,
gotten
but he's got the classroom.
he must have gotten that from Chapman, or in past work. And he's done a lot of history work about
Yes, sir.
A&M.
Yes, sir. He has.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to clear that up.
Well, is this going to take care of it?
For me, it will.